For over a century, Europe's industrial identity was built on a single crowning achievement: the mastery of the internal combustion engine. But in the electric age, that mechanical advantage has vanished. The battery pack now represents the core of the vehicle's value, performance, and cost. This global map tracks a massive shift in industrial energy. To keep up with demand, worldwide manufacturing capacity for lithium-ion batteries has surged past 3 terawatt-hours. But that capacity is concentrated in just one region. China currently controls 80% of global battery manufacturing. By phasing out the engine without securing a local supply of its replacement, Europe has essentially traded its old dependence on foreign oil for a new, systemic reliance on foreign battery technology. Europe's primary response has been factory announcements. This map shows the dozens of gigafactories planned to reach scale by 2030. But there is a massive gap between plans and reality. Europe has only 251 gigawatt-hours actually installed, barely 5% of the global total. Even that 5% is deceptive. Truly European capital and technology account for only 11% of the capacity currently on the ground. The rest is owned by foreign giants, like China's CATL, which dictate the terms of the market even when operating inside European borders. Hosting a foreign-owned factory may create local jobs, but it leaves the technological and strategic future of the region in the hands of foreign boardrooms. Why are European companies struggling to capture their own domestic market? The answer is in the unit economics. In China, producing a standard battery pack costs roughly $84 per kilowatt-hour. In Europe, that same pack costs $131. That is a 56% cost disadvantage that European carmakers simply cannot ignore. This gap is driven by high industrial energy prices, labor costs that are double those of competitors, and a highly fragmented supply chain that lacks the integration seen in Asia. Under these conditions, the arithmetic of the industry is working against the continent, slowly making European-made vehicles uncompetitive in their own showrooms. Real industrial power starts in the ground, with the raw materials needed to feed the factories. Yet Europe's own regulatory framework often prevents the region from accessing its own resources. The permitting and bureaucratic hurdles for a new mine in Europe can take up to 20 years to navigate. In China, that same operational goal is achieved in just 3 years. Before a single gram of lithium is extracted, the speed of Europe's regulatory state effectively ensures a loss in the global race. This structural decline is what Mario Draghi warned would lead to a slow agony for the European economy. Without a change in direction, the continent risks becoming a simple assembly line for technology designed and owned elsewhere. To reverse this, Europe must transition from a reactive regulator into an active player that secures and protects its own industrial supply chains. Reclaiming its industrial sovereignty has become the necessary path to preserve the European model for the next generation.